Hello, hi Tiasha.
Hello.
How is you
Hi.
doing?
Very good. Thank you. So good to be back, you know. How do
Yes, I'm
you
so happy
feel?
as well. It's been a long time.
A very long time. And we do need to apologize to all of you today waiting for us as well. Technical issues
Absolutely,
are a big deal. Host's
absolutely.
microphone got all dusty, people. That's how long we
Yes,
weren't on.
yes, yes. That's the gospel truth. It got
Yeah.
dusty because it hasn't been used for quite some time.
Yeah.
However,
Well,
how
you.
is everyone doing tonight? It's
Oh
another
yeah.
great
Let's see.
show.
Let's see
I'm so
all
happy
those
to be back
likes
with you
popping.
anyway. I'm so happy to be
Yeah.
back with each and every one of you. And I hope you're doing fine and you're doing great. Is everyone okay? Good. Tiaka, we have a great show tonight.
Yeah.
How
We
do you
do.
feel about it?
Oh, don't. um. As you know, and obviously, people need to know that although you were absent, we still kept in contact and we spoke about different things, especially what was going on recently in this world. So how am I feeling about the topic? I think that it's something that it's for all of us, that we should talk about it more often. um, it can be an emotional one, it can be a heated one. It depends, from which angle you're standing and looking at it.
Yes, that's true. That's true. The the most important thing is that this discussion is heard. It needs to be heard, and a lot of people may even wonder, is it even worth it to talk about being betrayed and having trust issues in life? The thing is that some of us happen to have those that we trust dearly in our life, in our private life, and in our professional life, and even as a society. And in our discussion, I don't even want to boil down anyone with the idea of celebrities or those that people consider to be public figure or whatsoever. What I really want us to focus on tonight is that we all know how things are not going great with most people in life, and how often that those that we trust and held so high in great esteems disappoint
Mhm.
us. But oftentimes, those that are forgotten are the victims of these situations. So,
Mhm.
this our discussion, starting with this episode of today, will be divided, and we will take it from three different parts. One on the individual basis, and the other two parts will be based on the society as a whole. So, if you have ever have someone that you trust or held in high regard disappointed you, when I mean disappointed you, maybe I'm not talking here, he promised something that he was supposed to do for you and the person didn't do it. I'm talking about maybe somebody that you hold in high regard, maybe molesting you, or maybe somebody that you know. And it
Mhm.
can even be a form of betrayal that comes in terms of the general public, those that are administrating our society. So those are the things I want us to focus on, and I want you as our viewers to help us with commenting and asking questions or relating examples how each and every one of you, if you have had an experience of this nature in your private life or in your work life Or maybe even as a society as a whole, the place that you once lived or that you live now, the experiences you've had, because it's something that I believe we all need to have this discussion. And the reason why I believe we all need to have this discussion is this. Some traumas are not easy to manage. Some need a lot of time and a great deal of fortitude to be able to deal with it and learn to manage it. Some traumas live with us for a very long period of time and it affects the way we end up relating with other people. Just to give you an example, have you ever imagined yourself, even as an adult, fearing the dark because maybe some time ago in the past, someone attacked you while you were walking in the dark? I'm just using it as an example. But think about some of our sisters that are afraid to go out at night on their own, even in cities that have less crime rates. So these are some of the things that I want us to really take into consideration when we talk about betrayal of trust that we have in those that are supposed to protect us, both our dignity and otherwise. This is what our discussion in this episode and the following ones will be trying to discuss about and possibly find ways that we as a person can apply to manage and forge ahead with our life. So without further ado, I hope my preamble was understandable enough. Without further ado, Tiasha, what exactly do you think about betrayal? Why oftentimes those that we believe in so much that we entrust figuratively our life into their hands, like our political leader, like somebody, an administrator in a particular schooling system, why do they oftentimes betray this trust that we have in them? When I mean betray this trust that we have in them, why do they always disregard our interests, our feelings, our well-being in doing what they do without caring about us? Even when they have taken the oath of office or when the role, the position that they have should have been enough for them to understand that look, they need to protect our interests. Why is this always the case? Or often
First
the
of
case?
all, can we talk about the fact that this is what we were taught to trust certain people or people in certain positions? This was rooted in us from generations to generations. We are going back. It was always, let's say, trust the police, they will always protect you. But it often proved that, sometimes they are not to be trusted. We were told to trust, let's say, the teachers. But I mean, come on. We all know they come there, they earn money as you do, I do, everybody do, and they go home. We were taught to trust politicians that they're gonna lead us well, but do they? So I think that it's what the system planted in us, to believe and to trust. So I wouldn't expect anything but betrayal from them, because I think that even from people that are supposed to, let's say, care for you, care about you, love you, let's say even as a family member, they are mothers who betray their children. And they're the ones who gave birth to them, and they say, that's why they say nowadays that blood doesn't make you a family. It's the heart that does. So we need to, uh, I don't know, maybe we should start talking about the fact that it doesn't matter what position in life you are playing. You don't earn the respect or the trust or whatever just with the position you come to in life, whether it be, profession related or like natural roles in life that we are given. right? Parents, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, friends, whatever. So I think that, yeah, this is the first thing that we need to discuss about. Because just because you did a school and you went to be a police officer, it doesn't make you a person that I should trust. Not necessarily. Or just because you were at the right time, at the right place, with the right people, let's say, and you got into the politics, doesn't mean that I need to trust you because, it depends what kind of a person you are, not what kind of a role in life you're playing. So I think that it's more and more clear now, and this is coming out, and I think that people just see it for what it is. Mm, I don't know. Let's just talk, for example, like about an army. They're there, they're paid to protect the land, they're there paid to go to the missions and fight. How often did this, and I'm not saying, I don't know statistics, but I'm just saying they're killing their own people as well. Just let's assume, okay, allegedly, that the war between Russia and Ukraine is real. Let's say, okay? There are Ukrainians that kill their own people, but if they're there to protect their land, then why are you killing your people? Allegedly. So I think that in general, we need to stop talking about the roles that we are playing in life, and that's it. And maybe there will be less betrayal in this world, if
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah, of course. I understand your point, and I think one thing that I got out of your discussion is uh, maybe we should evaluate the way we trust people, not simply because one is trained to be a public security officer means that we should trust the person. Why I
I
believe
mean, Pedro,
this. Hmm,
sorry, here we need to just know something. People, maybe 50, let's say 100 years ago, people did go to certain professions because of love, because of that passion, because, I don't know, maybe to become a doctor to help the people. Nowadays, if you speak, why are you, studying to be a doctor? And because of the money, because there is not enough doctors, and I know that I'm gonna get a job. So for him, whether he's gonna give you, I don't know, a painkiller or an antidepressant doesn't really matter. I'm just speaking, metaphorically. Um, um, it's about money. It's that, I forgot, the word escaped me now, but it's about the power now. Who, the positions. There are people that are fighting for their positions. Listen, I mean, they're like social workers, for example, who are supposed to help people in need, but all they do is in the office. Like they don't care if somebody doesn't have bread on the table because they have it. So the sympathy for other and the empathy and all of that comes, with certain professions is lost. Is not there. I mean, it is something. I don't want to be negative about it, but I need to be realistic about it. And unfortunately, the dark side has come out. And before you said, um in a way, like, it's not all about the celebrities or anything, but I'm happy that it's happening to celebrities. I'm happy that the stories like that are coming out, be it of, I don't know, the famous PDD case or any other case, because people will realize that Hollywood world or any famous world or any celebrity world or whatever you want to take it is not just butterfly and rainbows, and is not the right idolizing that they are doing. because they're also human beings. They also do bad things. They also, bad things happen to them, or however you want to take it. And I feel like it encourages then people potentially to start speaking more about their stories because they feel more normal. Because if it happening to celebrities, that's normal, right? You know what I mean? So I do
Of
applaud
course.
sometimes when celebrities come out with problems. Be it also like mental health when they are publicly speaking about it. Because I feel like then people, easily open up, which is also sad because again it tells you how much of an impact media actually has.
That's true. Anyway, you are right about your experience and the way you see things, the way you make your explanation and everything. That's true. That's okay. And obviously, we are not trying to tell anybody what they should consider to be betrayal here or not, because it's something that we all know. And to be very frank, I could care less about the situation with the celebrities, but I want to be very sure that as a citizen, if I'm leaving my minor child in a particular school, that the child is in safe hand.
Yeah, but
I
what
want
assures
to,
you that?
eh? You said
What
what?
assures you that? What
That's
assures you that?
I'm trying to believe, at least with the training and everything, that those that are supposed to take care of that child should have. That should be enough to guarantee those of us as a common citizen in the society to have enough trust that those people will be able to do what they need to do. This is just one example. I'm just trying to piece out all the examples that you made, the social workers, the doctors, and everything. However, I am not here, I'm not knocking anybody for going out there to make money with his or her profession. But I believe, just like you are saying, do your damn job. I don't care how much you make. If
Hmm.
you are going into a particular profession because of the money, by all means, get the money that you want. But I want a situation as well. While you are making the money, what you need to do professionally to guarantee that public trust should be there.
And
So,
the thing
if
is, you if you gonna make a mistake only once, let's say on a particular, let's say you are a doctor, and you're not gonna,
mhm,
I don't know, put a diagnose right, the word of this negativity is gonna spread very fast.
yeah,
You know, and I'm saying this because I do not want to say you don't want to save people, so you shouldn't be a doctor, like it's not in your nature and you chose the wrong career. Okay, whoever wants to do whatever, go do it, by all means. I wish you all the best. But I am very, very, very passionate about the children, and I'm gonna now, turn this a little bit around, and yeah, I need to say it. Sorry. For example, how if we look at America, a big country, you understand, has an influence on basically the whole world. If they have doctors there who are supposed to help children, and these doctors are now supporting, like, let's say, um, the puberty blockers, and basically go into the fact that there are kids, if the kids come there and they confine from the age of 12 on to the doctor doesn't even need the permission from a parent anymore because they don't discuss right patient cases. It's gonna approve the puberty blockers based on a simple conversation they had with a minor. And this particular doctor is gonna change a person's life forever. You have teachers, and I'm gonna speak in a particular case. It was few months ago. somebody working at school as a safeguarding, and was basically taking young girls home, assaulting them with the help of a husband. But you are working in school as a safeguarding. And I'm talking about this, and I'm not saying all the people are the same. I'm saying that we came so far that now you actually literally can point on every institution, yeah, with a finger on it and say some bad things have happened there. To women, to children, even men, it doesn't matter. Because abuse became real nowadays. Abuse is real, be it verbal, be it physical, be it spiritual, be it mental, in any shape or form. It is real. How many places, workplaces, have caused people to complete meltdowns? I have a neighbor here who worked with people that, with special needs and stuff, autism and all of that. It came to a point that he was so under pressure, and those are his words, that he had a complete meltdown. He's basically now retired because of his mental condition. So that's abuse.
So going back to the earlier part of your discussion, if do you
Yeah.
consider it to be a form of betrayal that
Yes.
a medical professional
Yes.
or a teacher have a conversation with a child, 12-year-old child, without consulting the parents and has to give them puberty
Yes.
blockers? It's a
Yes.
betrayal on the
That is
part
a
of the
betrayal. It is a
and what
betrayal. And I'm not talking about, this is not a betrayal in a form that people would like maybe classify it as it, but look at it deeper, from the deeper level. It is a betrayal to the society. It is a betrayal of what is right and wrong. It is a betrayal.
but what if they are doing that to safeguard the well-being of that particular child?
I mean,
I'm
listen,
trying to understand
we,
if there is a
yeah,
middle ground between what a professional think is right and what how they should be able to factor in the concerns of the parents as well.
I,
You
I, I
know,
do, I do understand what you're saying, but what gives you a right as an individual to speak your mind on what is right and what is wrong? There is something called a common sense. If you need to have a permission from a parent, or let's say a guardian, uh, until 18 to get a tattoo, why don't you need a guardian or parent or a special permission when you're getting a puberty blockers? They
that's
say
a valid
tattoo is
point.
permanent.
Hmm.
Tattoo is permanent. So changing your sex is not.
That's a very valid
So
point.
you cannot send a child of 12 years old to buy you cigarettes or alcohol, but you can give him the puberty block because he said, I don't know, I feel I'm a boy today, or even a fox. So yeah, it is a betrayal. You as an individual better be a doctor and not listen. You are talking to my, and even, sometimes I feel like, um even as an adult, if you go somewhere, it is still betrayal, because why do you need to kneel down in front of one individual, you understand, and go like, okay, yeah, I know you have mental issues, this and that. Why don't you, I don't know, let's go for opinion here. When you use all the sources and that person is still not healed, so to speak, right? Then go for it. But you are betraying that person because you are there to do everything in your possible power to make that person feel better. And what makes you believe that after one conversation of, I want to be a boy or a fox or a fish or a tennis ball, gives you a right to just close the case and say, okay, you are a tennis ball? That's clearly, I mean, Pedro, look at it like that. 50 years ago, nobody identified as a dog. Nobody identified as a curtain. Nobody married a blanket. Do you understand? So that's clearly indicates the fact that there is a lot of mental issues. So why don't we work on it? No, we just gonna agree. Oh, I'm a car. I mean, it doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. It's there is something called common sense, and if you betray the common sense, then you betray the society. Period. And it start.
Exactly.
You know how they say the journey starts with one step. So let's. This is it. This is it.
And where where I find things difficult, even in a discussion like this, is if it is possible to have a situation whereby everybody's, I'm not even talking about rights in this case, well-being, because your right could have been protected, but your well-being was not factored into consideration. I don't know if you understand me. It is possible for me to protect your right, but protecting that right may obviously negate your well-being. That's what I
Yes.
find in most cases when it comes to mind in discussions like this. And I want to be realistic when having this type of discussion. Although even if it is not popular, it's something that could get you cancelled. But I believe that as a society, if we must move forward, no matter how difficult the discussion is, we should have it. So that's the reason why we are doing this, obviously, Tasha. It's not because that we just like
Yes.
to talk or whatsoever. So
Well, we do a
as a
little bit.
parent,
Come on, admit it.
yeah, if as a parent, if my child destroys someone's car, maybe riding his bicycle and destroys someone's car, I am held responsible because he's still a minor and everything. Why am I saying this? There are responsibilities that are expected of parents in the society. So
Mhm.
oftentimes I am confused. Even when we are having discussion, we are talking of the well-being of the child at times in a very complicated situation like the example that you gave. And at the same time, we tend to forget about the responsibilities and everything that a parent is supposed to provide in the life of that child. So it seems to me that in the society that we live or in our world today, we talk about parents' responsibility when it is convenient for us to do so. Then, if it is not in line with what that particular administrator or those that are in power in that particular society agree with, then the parents no longer have responsibility of providing, protecting, and safeguarding their children. So that's where I really
Mhm.
have problem with this thing. But at the same time, I also understand that children have rights. Even though the person is 12 years old or 13 years old, there is right and everything that is stipulated, even the UN Charter and everything, for all of us as humans and children in particular. So I find it difficult at times that even as a society, it will be difficult for us to say, okay, this is where our position is. But mind you, I agree that in some cases, it is very, very important and dependent on us as adults to apply both logic and common sense. If really indeed a 12-year-old child cannot even buy alcohol, cannot get tattoo without the consent of the parent, if the child needs to undergo self change or whatsoever, I believe that the parents should be carried along. Whether the parents agree or not, they should at least be informed. It shouldn't be something that they have to know after all the process has been done. Because, like you said, some of the changes are permanent and they can never reverse it. This is not a knock on whether the person believe in that way of life or not. I am not here, neither you, we are not here to discuss that today. We are simply talking about
No.
situations that do happen that shows or present themselves to the individuals that are involved that the society has betrayed them. And I'm not too sure that parents in these kind of circumstances, I don't know about the society that I live, maybe in your case in the UK, are there means for parents to address issues like this that you know of?
I particularly, maybe I'm not aware of, exactly, but UK as such is not so crazy yet. Yet it is getting crazier, but it's not. I mean, I think that people are just open, which I like. Don't get me wrong. Like, you want to be, I don't know, a car. Wow, be a car. Um, I don't mind as long as it's not affecting me. But as long as you were an adult, a responsible adult who made that decision, I'm cool with it. You were talking about responsibility as a parent. Yeah. But isn't your responsibility to make sure that your child is okay if he says he's a car? As much as your responsibility is to take that in consideration, your responsibility is also to make sure that that's valid. I don't know. I see it like that,
Sasha, in this discussion, we cannot afford to neglect the fact that some parents are very neglectful.
No, no. Oh, yes. Most definitely. Most definitely. Of course, I'm going to be the first one who is going to say that. But I'm saying
Because
that,
some parents
when we are
basically
talking,
have to be esteem parents.
that's why I said right before when I was speaking there, that's why we shouldn't go by as a role of which we chose or we were given naturally. People betray you. Like I said before, a mother can betray you, although she, carried you. There are mothers who, I don't know, sell children. You understand? So, of course, most definitely. But I'm saying, like, if we go and we stick to the healthy part of the world, the healthy part of the society, um, then, I think that there is a lot of betrayal from that side as well. But, however, I feel like that over the years, and I'm gonna say it especially now, because also as having a child in school being certain institution, like um, I feel like there is not a lot of, even the parents who do care and want to step in for the children. I feel like that also the school as an institution oftentimes brushes it under the rug because they do not want to be exposed. They do not want to put themselves out there. Um, so even as a parent, like if it would happen to me now, honestly, I don't know who I would turn to as a parent that I could like 100% trust that is gonna do for well-being of my child. But I mean well-being, not what my child thinks is good, but for the actual well-being, um, which is kind of a scary.
Yeah.
And when you think about the children, like imagine me being the parent that I am, like overprotective sometimes, and me not having any option or me not having any source that I could turn to. Can we just like for a moment also imagine what it is for those children that have no one as parents, as a role models, as
In fact,
caretakers?
that borders to
How,
cult.
yeah, how can they know, who they can trust or who they can turn to? And that's scary. And I think that that's also the reason their innocence is oftentimes used to some people's advantages.
Yeah, hearing somebody like you say this bothers me a lot because I know how resourceful you are. I know how
Hmm.
proactive you are. I know how. Let me not even talk about the determination level. You are a go-getter. If something is necessary, if it has to be done, you are ready. If you
Yeah.
that is this resourceful is worried and don't see any particular place or a point of reference that you will go to in a situation like this, then I'm really worried about other people that may be in a new country, in a society that they are not very familiar with. They probably do not speak the language so well. Not
Mhm.
only do they not even know where to go to, they may not even find it easy to be able to express themselves greatly. Don't you think that a lot of family may have been suffering this in silence?
Yes. Yes.
Can we go on like this as a society? What can we do? What is the
No, we
antidote to
can't. We can't. But you know what is scary? That I think that this is just the beginning. I honestly think that this is just the beginning. And I'm telling you now, I know for a fact, I know that it's very, 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 very bad. I know it. Like I'm not gonna be smart assing. You know, people can do their researches. I'm not here to put any sources out for whatever people want to research. They can. I'm gonna say like I can say it. That's for the past now. I'll say maybe 4 months. Yeah, something like that. I threw myself into this particular topic and related topics, and especially now after and I'm gonna say it again, the celebrity stories came out. uh I went out there and I started researching stuff also, internationally. um and yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna say that those who do not know, there is a lot of people that is still gullible. And as harsh as this may sound, I feel like there is not enough information for people and there is not enough organizations for people. um, Mind you, there are organizations, but
Mhm.
doing for the best is where we have a problem, because me and you can open an organization and pretend we're going to help people while we are doing worse for them, and that's actually really happening. uh, the downfall of society right now is a lot of people's opportunity to build an empire, unfortunately. Because if you're not educated on the certain thing, if you don't have sources, right sources, trustworthy sources that you can turn to, you're gonna end up in wrong hands. And once you are in that circle, imagine being thrown in the water and you cannot swim. That's how it
That would be very
is.
difficult. That would be very difficult.
Exactly.
That would be very difficult.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Right.
the thing is that I was thinking that we're going to do the public aspect, but our discussion kind of drive drove us into that
Sorry,
direction.
people.
However,
Tiasha, no, it's
there,
Tiasha is too passionate about it.
that's true. That's true. There is something that, listening to you, I must be very honest for those that may not have heard what I said earlier on. If somebody like Tiasha is worried about something like that, then I am worried. Like, I know what you can do. I know that you can make mountain move. So, do you think our society actually have the right measures in place to protect our children? In your
No,
opinion, obviously, I'm not trying.
no.
This is not an accusation to our society, but with the things that you describe and with the way things could go, I'm afraid that we don't have the right instrument to protect our children, even though we sing about it all the time.
Our
Don't you
system
seriously?
is not built. Our system is not built for good for our children. Our system is built to mold our children and us, of course. We are adults, so we're gonna speak about children now. Our system is built to mold the children into basically followers, the force. They are trained like that. If you go and you go into the curriculum that starts in the nursery already, what they are taught, what they are shown, what they are told, the stories that they read for them. If you go to first grade of primary school up to high schools and stuff, how the curriculums are built, how the grading is expected, how the manners and the following of the herd and individual work. And because listen, let me tell you something. If you notice now, and especially of recent years, I don't know if you probably you're not researching as much as I do because I'm over the top. I'm crazy sometimes. But I noticed one thing. The curriculums, the way they are established right now in educational institutions, are that they do not like individual work. So let me say it like that. When I went to primary school, for example, I have a feeling that looking back at my curriculums, I was still encouraged to do the individual work. I was still encouraged to think on my own, encouraged to do like, some posters. I don't know whether it be about the plants or, I don't know, when we had some psychology and stuff, do your own essays and all of that, go into it alone. Now, I am
Yes.
thinking that when I went to college, and that was, mind you, maybe just 10 years difference, I noticed the change now looking back that there was a lot of group work, even the essays and things like that. If not a group, they were offered like in pairs. And it was like, oh, how well you gonna do. And, we all know that there was always one hardworking one and one less hardworking one in groups, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
naturally, we are different, which had a certain impact. Now, looking at the curriculums in school, like even the way, let's say, the sittings in my daughter's school go, like they are sitting in groups. Their mathematics is in groups. There is no more individual work. There is no more encouragement of think on your own. What do you think? What would you do in this case? What? So everything now is it starts from very early age to mold them into followers, to mold them into people that do not know how to use their own mind anymore. And as sad and as harsh and stupid it might sound to some people, it's a known fact. And if you do just a little bit of research, you're gonna notice that. So are they doing good for kids? No. Are they doing good for the society in 20, 30 years? No. We all know what they're building. I mean, at least you can have a little bit of a clue. If you are a strong individual, if you are a strong minded person who thinks for his own, I don't know, you're gonna write, let's say, an essay, maybe a fiction essay. That's not encouraged anymore. Because what it is with this, you actually show them how capable you actually are to live in your own mind. And your own mind is more powerful than a group of people sometimes. And they do not want that. They do not want you to take over the place that they think they belong to. And I know it might sound like as a crazy thing, but like I'm encouraging everyone who might be laughing at me right now to just do like really a 2-hour research, and you will know what I'm saying. If you just check the curriculums around the world, for example.
No,
So
I don't
yeah,
even
what
add
you
to
asked
that
me, the
because
answer is no.
yeah, it is very disappointing. And believe me, I don't doubt it. I'm not in doubt about that at all. I have seen it on my own. They have a beautiful name for it, teamwork. So almost everybody is
Yeah,
encouraged. But working in team is one thing, and being a follower is another thing. Like following the head without thinking for yourself is another thing entirely. On that, I think everybody, we all know that one way or the other, we are programmed to believe things that we want to believe. For those that are not religious, we point finger to religion, and those that are religious, we point finger to secularism and everything. So we are just finger pointing when it comes to issues like this. We are all followers one way or the other. But what I really hate, I don't know, hate is a strong word to use in a thing like this, but I don't like the fact that the educational system that is supposed to give you an equipment for you to have your personal critical thinking, at the same time we try to discourage you from doing that which you are supposed to do as a human being. And living here in Europe, there has been a time that I asked myself, how did these people actually came over to us in Africa and they colonized us? Like, I expected them to be more than what in terms of intellect and everything. But mind you, there is the power of unity. I give that to Europeans. The unity is there. Whether to do good thing or something that we cannot describe relatively as good, they have unity. They are able to speak with one voice, go for a one particular goal, and get it to the finish line. Is this cultural? I don't know. I don't think it would be correct to say so. So, what am I trying to say here? The idea of grouping people, teaching them to be in unison about some things, work together and everything. I personally believe that that's it. That that falls in line with governmental program of how and what they want in society to be in the future. Do I like it? No. For somebody that think for himself, that would like to see what I want to do or how I see this thing personally on my own. And even at times this make it difficult to make friends in the society that I live in. I don't like a situation whereby
Mhm.
just because that person has said so, we must all believe it. Tiasha, I'm a black man. I don't agree with Barack Obama. Because Obama said this doesn't mean I have to believe it. I'm just using this
Yeah.
as an example. I know
I
it's silly. Because every
no.
black person in Western world, majority of them has to be on the political left, doesn't mean that I have to be on the left. Even when the left is not practicing a kind of politics that is beneficial to me. This is just an example, just to explain why I believe this group head thinking is not a good thing, and I say it in the educational system a lot. But I want to bring our discussion back home a little bit on the individual level.
Mhm.
I learned recently that the most dangerous place for a child at times could be the family,
Mhm.
especially when there is a step parent in the picture.
Mhm.
So, and I know that you personally don't practice sleepover.
No.
Good. Why? We live in the Western
Okay.
world.
So
There is cameras everywhere. You can call your child, you can do video call and everything. So why do you have that fear?
no, because of what happened to me as number one, and number two because I know what is going on in the world and how sick people exist. um, there might be a camera. How do I know that if I call my child, and that's like a very stupid one for some people. Let's say my child has a phone, I'm gonna call her on camera. My child is gonna smile. How do I know that the person on the other side of the phone that I cannot see is not threatening my child to pretend she's happy? What assures me that?
Hmm.
I don't know, you know.
That's impossible to guarantee.
Like I
What if
said,
this danger? What if this danger is in the family?
sorry.
What if this danger is in the family? This risk, what if it's in the family? If I told you, I just read that
Um,
when there is a step parent in the picture, oftentimes is the most dangerous place for a young child. So while in line with
yes.
our discussion, being betrayed by those that are supposed to protect us, people, if my mom gets married to another man that is my stepfather, if by virtue of that marriage, or virtue of that relationship, he should be like the stepfather is a parent to me. It should be his duty to protect me if we live in the same house and everything. So should he molest me?
Nobody should do anything bad to you. As number one. Okay? It is not normal. And no matter what kind of, if anyone is there right now or is gonna catch up later on listening to me now, let me tell you, I've been quiet for way too long. And if any type of abuse is happening to you right now by your family member or by a stranger, please talk to somebody. Tell somebody. And if that somebody laughs, go tell another person. And if another person doesn't believe you, scream it on the street. All right? Scream it. Because what I'm saying right now, it's serious. And yes, step parents are the most vicious and poisonous people, probably. You said that when they get together with somebody and that somebody has a child, this person is not interested about children. That's why I say again, if you are speaking loud and clear that you do not want to have a woman or a man who has a package of children, and you say it out loud, I give you all my respect and I give you all my support. Because that means that you are not ready to be anyone's stepdad. You are not ready, or stepmom. You are not ready to take on the responsibility that comes along. You are not capable of loving, an- let's say, another human being, okay, that is not part of your blood. And that's completely fine. And it's understandable and it's respected. So if you think within yourself you're not capable of doing that, please do not do it. No matter how much you might like the person that has a child, please do not do it. Because that little child, that little creature, is gonna trigger something in you. Whether be abuse of verbal nation, of a physical nation, is gonna happen. Okay? Don't do it. Because if you do not love somebody and you do not care for somebody, it's gonna trigger a black hole inside you. I am 1,000,000% sure. I can guarantee that. So, um, yeah, go on, go on.
There is something confusing about this discussion. In the sense that
Mhm.
I see a lot online on various podcasts, people describing how they wouldn't like to, maybe it's a bit difficult for me to see in the sense that they wouldn't like to date a woman that have children already. And at the same time,
Yeah.
they are being criticized. They are being criticized for having that kind of position. And when I
Hmm.
knew about this, the risk that step parents could pose to minor children, I was like, wow, does it mean that there is a lot going on in our society that we are covering up, that we are not letting people know? I think if I am a woman,
Hmm.
I would be very fearful to have a step. Like if I have minor children, I don't think I don't think it's a good idea to
I feel the
hold
same
up
way.
with, with knowing what I know now. Just I'm telling you,
Hmm.
I used to be until about 2 weeks ago, one of the guys that will criticize others for not wanting to fall in love
Mm.
with a
I
person that
understand,
has
but it's
children
it's
already.
because it's because you are, you are not that type of a person, and I understand you. I understand why you have been an advocate for that. I do, because you are not a person that would go with a woman who has a child from before and have any type of thought. You know, you wouldn't, like, you are capable of loving another person. Listen, let's put it out there, because you are not the type of a person who would, like, even think of a split second that you are not capable in your heart loving another person's child, because you naturally care for people. And unfortunately, we are there now. There are people who care, and there are people who do not care.
You don't care.
But judging, yeah, but judging based on yourself, it's okay, but it's not sufficient. So,
Not at all.
you do not
Not
need,
at all.
yeah, you do not
My
need
personal
to feel
experience is
bad.
not sufficient enough at all. My personal
Yeah,
experience is
like
not
I know for a fact, I know for a fact, and maybe some people would look at me crazy. If I am ever to divorce my husband for whatever reason, let's say, I don't know, in the future, um, there is no man who is gonna step in my life because I have three children. And no matter how much I like you or whatever, I cannot fully trust you. I'm sorry. It's just one of those.
Yeah, but mind you, we are using an example here just for the benefit of our listeners. We are talking, it has nothing to do with either man or woman. The discourse that I listened to, the article that I read, it simply said the presence of a step parents at times could be very, very detrimental to the minor
Yeah,
children.
but
So,
isn't that enough? Isn't that enough?
yeah,
Because
of course.
statistic doesn't lie. Listen, I have been, and I said it out loud couple of times, I have been a victim of my stepfather. I am now an adult. My trauma is past that. I can openly speak about it. I am not a shy person. If anyone who knows me is listening to this, listen, yes, it happened to me. And I also have a stepmother who actually took care of the fact that my own biological father is not even in contact with me anymore. She was verbally abusive towards me. She was mentally abusive towards me, basically. And I know both sides of the story, and I know what I'm saying. And a child is an innocent person, and you, as a parent who is there to take care of the child, who has a full custody, make sure that that child is safe. And I'm not saying do not go for a man, and I'm not saying do not go for another woman. Far away from that. But please do make sure that those kids are safe in their hands. Like, I know for myself, I cannot trust. That doesn't mean it's not possible. I have my own traumas. I have my own shit I need to deal with. Leave me aside, right? But I'm saying that because I know what is going on and I have lived through it, this is why I am the way I am. Now, I'm not discouraging or encouraging anyone to do whatever. I'm just making sure that they do hear words of people that do have certain experiences and do take it
Mhm.
in consideration, because no matter what, your child matters. Like, your love life matters. Don't get me wrong. But you should not prioritize your lust over your children's well being. That's all I'm saying.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
Honestly, I I don't know what else to add in the sense that you said it all. The most important thing, do what is good for you. Fall in love whoever you want to fall in love with. However, if you are in a situation where you have minor children, remember that look, whether you agree or not, because you are a nice person, the other person may not be really nice to the extent the way you expect it to be. And being nice in
Exactly.
this case does not even cut it. Doing the right thing is what is most important. I
Hmm.
was very, very disappointed when I read or learned that across culture, this was not just a research done in one particular culture. Across culture, on average, the most risky environment for a minor is the presence of a step parent in that
Hmm.
house. I know you may have been thinking about I was brought up by my stepfather, my stepmother, or whatsoever. That is not the issue. Your personal experience in comparison to the general society may mean nothing. So let's
Exactly.
call it spade a spade. We should be able to do the right thing. And when betrayal of this nature comes, these children, I believe that they may never be able to forgive their parent because the said parent may have been the one have that may have done what they did. But mind you, this is somebody that my mother or my father declared to us that they love and is playing the role of a parent in our life as well. So,
Yeah.
and I genuinely believe it to be difficult for a child to forgive their parents in a situation like that as
Um,
well. Not only the step parent, even the parent as well.
no,
Because
I
imagine
understand what you're
telling your
saying.
parents about what happened, they may not even believe you.
No, that's the thing. And this is the reason why a lot of children, even I, came out very late, and some children don't even tell their parents, just because of the reason you just stated here. But what I want to say is like, um, it depends how the parent that you are telling or the person you are telling to react to the story. Um, that's important. Like me, for example, I'm not angry that my mother brought a person in our life that gave me such a bad experience and caused me traumas and stuff. um I'm not angry at her, I'm angry at him that he took that opportunity. And uh my mom reacted the way I wanted her to react, or I would expect a healthy person to react, so I'm okay with that. She couldn't know. It is not written on people's foreheads unless you know that, I don't know, the person is in a register of, I don't know, predators, for example, and you still went for him. You understand? Like that's completely different. But if you do not know, like, no. I mean, I would
It's
probably be
just that
angry if this, for example, in my case, I would be probably angry at her if there was another person she brought and it was, again, doing something bad to me. Then I would be like, what kind of a man are you bringing home? Then maybe it would trigger. Um, but yeah, I mean,
your case is
they're
exceptional.
individual stories. Yeah.
Your your case is exceptional because I heard of a story whereby the mom was even brushing away the case when the child was trying to say, look, mommy, this is what is going on. The mom didn't believe, was so in love and didn't believe. And it was just recently that I was told as well that even here in my city, a case happened whereby a one of the parents stepped that in this case was messing up with the 12-year-old daughter of the adult, I mean his daughter in this case because they live in the same family, they live in the same house and everything. The the thing what I learned later was that even people outside of the family, neighbors, friends that are close to them, suspected these things. They told the woman, and the woman was even quarreling with them and was cutting off their friendship and everything. So imagine being a doctor in that situation. Because this betrayal here is deep.
This is why I said before what I said. There are mothers, that gave birth to you and they betray you, right? So it's a very hard one. And what are these, kids then do? Like, who they can turn to? It's a crazy world we live in. Like, I don't know. I Like I said, I came to a point now, or maybe it's my age, or maybe my experience, or maybe even this research now did something to me. I don't know. But like I said
Mhm.
before, talk, go and scream it on the street. There is gonna be an
Yes.
individual who is gonna hear your story. You know what I mean? Because nowadays, I'm sorry to say it, you don't know who to rely on. You don't know who to trust anymore. Just go there, stand in a crowd, and just scream. Scream your problems out. There is gonna be somebody who actually cares and is gonna, approach you. I don't know. It's
Yes.
crazy, I know,
My
but
problem with this thing, Chasha, is this. Back in the days, I don't believe that the problem is higher or less actually. I know for a fact that look, the issue of betrayal and everything has always been in the history of mankind. It was
yeah,
Julius Caesar's best friend that betrayed him. In
yeah.
fact, there is even a saying. I think even Bob Marley sang in the song, "Your worst, your best friend will be your worst enemy." So you don't know who to trust. Man to man is so unjust. You don't know who to trust. There is a song like that. If normal, it's part of the human nature. But what I find is that although we talk about rights and everything today, we have more rights today than we used to have in the past. At the same time, some things that still happen, we don't have the means to address them. That is where I have problem actually.
Hmm.
We have a lot of rights. Everybody is talking about almost everything that is happening to us around the world. But the instruments to be able to address them continue to lack. Like,
Hmm.
what should one do in this situation? Why should a young child have his or her life destroyed because a particular school administrator had a veto power over his parents and may never, when the child happens to realize the future, the child may never be able to get her life back in order again. That's the problem for me. Fine.
Yeah.
Why should my life be destroyed because of whom my father or my mother choose to be in love with? I didn't choose to be born. I am here. Fine. I know. I know there are some things that are beyond my control. But why should my life be
Yeah.
disorganized for this? Well, do you know why I'm saying this? I know of a friend, she's in her 40s. She said that today, although being in her 40s, she views sexual intercourse differently because ever since she was abused while she was in her teenage age till today, she never viewed being loved, being having sexual rapport the same way. Some people go
Hmm.
through a lot of trauma. It stay with them for a very long time. Some people never recover from it.
Not that Pedro, it is impossible to fully recover from it. No matter how hard you try, you can go to therapies, you can read books, you can meditate, you can, I don't know, turn to God like some people do. You can do whatever you want. It's still part of your life. Okay. I might be here today and they'll be like, oh, look at her. I mean, she's talking about, yeah, I'm talking about it openly because it is not about me anymore. Yeah. It is not about me. And this case is not about what happened to me. Oh my God. I am not crying over it. It made me who I am today. I learned how to see it from different side. But there are things that still trigger me, you know? And it is hard, like, and I haven't even dealt with the worst part of essays and stuff,
Hmm.
mind you.
Yeah.
I was the surface of it all. There are children who has been consistently essayed, yeah, and they cannot bear children today. this
Wow.
goes this, this
I'm
goes
learning
on
of
and on
this.
and on and
I'm
on.
learning of this for the first time.
Yes. There is a
And
lot,
why is
and
this not
you,
talked enough about? Why do we not talk enough about these things?
because it's still for some reason a damn taboo, because it is, I don't know, awkward socially to say I was essayed. because it's, I don't know, taboo to say I was, how they use it today, graped. Yeah, grape. Because it's hard for people to say, I don't know, I was verbally abused. Because it's, I don't know, hard to say that, work put me on a mental breakdown. Because it's I don't know, it's, people do not talk about it. They do not talk about it because I don't know. I feel like sometimes almost like they feel like they're gonna lose a dignity. Well, you lost all your dignity already. Your dignity was taken from you. You understand? By some sick individual or individuals. Do not care what people think about you. Do not care about what people think about your case. Do it because of yourself. And if not because of yourself, okay, do it like me. Do it because of others. You know what I mean? Like you need to go out there. Sometimes, but the problem is that it's also, I think, depends on the individual stories of how severe it was, how long it was, and by how many people as well. Because mind you, there are some children that are in foster cares and similar situations and are being sold and stuff like that. So there is a lot of things that we need to take in consideration. Yeah. And there are also some cultures in this world who still up to today allow that, right? So, yeah.
It's a very beautiful thing. I'm not happy about it. I don't like that the world we live in is this way because at the end of the day, if we all agree that our children are the leader of the future, we should have some structure in our society, society-wide. I'm not just talking about the family here. We all know that the family makes up the society at the end of the day, but there should be some structure society-wide to be able to cater to those things because a lot of people are hurting. And do you get what, Sasha? The victim, the the victim by extension of that essay of that woman that I told you that
Hmm.
is in her late 40s now that doesn't view sexual rapport anymore the same way like he used, like it should have been in her opinion. The victim by extension is her husband
Hmm.
because today he is having a wife that look, it has to be a discussion, convincing, appeasing, going the extra mile, not in an ordinary way of talking because it's not healthy anymore. But the thing is that she realizes it. I wish she can help it, but it's a mountain that is difficult for her to cross over. And
Pedro, let's put it out there. Some people need to grow the fuck up. Simple as that. Some people,
uh,
yeah, because listen, I
you are
have it.
strong today, that doesn't mean another person is strong. It's not about growing. I could be mature
No,
physically, but
what I meant with that is, and it includes maturity. It includes, if you are aware. Come on, if you're no, I'm gonna put it like that, differently around. If you're not aware of your environment or you do not know how to listen to your environment, then you are not ready. You're not ready for anything. You're not ready to be a parent because listen, if I don't know, three people are telling you the same thing and you still live in denial, then my God, you need fucking help. And yeah, I said it. I, just look, I'm looking from it from a deeper perspective. Don't just look at maybe the words that I use are too surface, but if you go deeper into it and think about it, you will know what I'm talking about. You will know that I'm right. Because this person is not mature. This person didn't grow up yet. Because it's like a small kid. Don't eat a cake because your, I don't know, your teeth are gonna have what did they say, worms and stuff and all of that, and you're still going because you are the smartest. And three people are telling you, a grandma, a father, a mother, maybe even an older sister, but you still think you are doing the right thing. This is how I see them. So yeah, I mean, I know maybe I took it, out of the context a little bit too much, but this is how, honestly, this is how I see people like that. And then something bad happens and something really bad happens, and the person is like, "Oh my God, I didn't know what is going on." Wait, what?
Yeah,
No, you know what?
that's
You should go to jail as well. You should go to sit your time as well. And if not for anything else, because you didn't do your duty to the society, if not anyone else.
hmm
That's why I said what I said. Yeah. Maybe
yes.
my words are too surfaced. So I do apologize to
Oh,
anyone who is like, nah, but
no. It's not a look. Nobody. There is no perfect solution to these things. We are all learning.
no,
There
yeah,
is no
that's
perfect
true.
solution. It is out of discussion and out of respect and out of looking for solution, hearing somebody else's perspective. That is why she shared and everything. I was not the only one. It was a normal discussion, all this group discussion. We stay in the cycle, a kind of focus group, and because we wanted things to be better
Team,
personally. But
teamwork, team building.
yeah, but I, she brought her example. There could be millions of people around the world that are going through these things that deny their significant other, is denied even correct to use in this kind of situation. I'm trying to be Jesus Christ. In my job, we have to be politically correct. So I will have to
Yeah,
caution myself trying to use, because they said language could be very discriminatory, or
yeah,
you know what they say. Honestly, there could be millions of people, for lack of a better term, that deny their partner themselves due to this past experience and everything. I don't think she's the only one out of the 8 billion people in the world. And
of course.
if this is an issue, who do they go to in a situation like this? Is confiding in
Like
friends
I,
enough? Can therapy help in this
I
kind
mean,
of situation? I don't know. But before we continue on, I really want us to be able to close on a better note tonight. There are some comments. Let us take some comments. Oh, it's Chichi in the building.
ooh,
Hi, Chichi.
hey,
Good. Let's hear what she says. Society influences everything. That's true. You were
that's true. I
you mentioned
agree.
the society earlier on.
Yeah,
Good. People will rather live up to societal standard than beheading, free and fulfilled. So sad. This is so true. This is so
yeah,
true. This is so true. The irony is that when they finally lose control, more people than normal then get to know about it. Their problem, abuse, and trauma. So true.
yeah. You see,
True. You know, this is a timely conversation. Well done,
thank you
guys.
for your
Thank
support,
you.
Chichi.
Thank you to Chichi. It's a pleasure. Thanks for, and if you, for all of us, I mean, for those of us that are watching, if you have had an experience of this nature, that you were betrayed by someone so dear to you, or someone that is supposed to protect your interests, but due to negligence or willingly do it and abuse you or betray that trust, tell us about your experience. Because this discussion, like I said earlier on, we are going to take it on a three parts: on a personal level, on a professional level, and on a societal level as a whole. Because the same way your parents, your brother, your siblings could betray the trust that you have in them, your employer could betray your trust as well.
Yeah,
There is workplace abuse that do happen. It could even be sexual or whatsoever. There could be an intimidation. It could be a form of hierarchy that does not permit your professional growth. There are various forms of abuse that we can talk about. So if you have any
yeah.
case that you would like to share with us, write us on Pedro Apollo Podcast, write us on our DM, on our Facebook page and everything. We will be very glad to share with the world and use it as a case study in our discussion as well. All right, Tisha, you heard what you
But I
said.
want to I want to also say something here. I want people to know, like, it is not about us hearing your story and hearing whether me and Pedro are correct. It is not about that. If you do want to share your part of abuse, your part of trauma, it is because we do want you to have your voice. We do want you to stand for yourself. We do want you to get better. We obviously wish you all the best. And
Absolutely.
we know you can make it. But also, very important is here to add that when you share your part of story, or when you share your journey to your success of healthiness, of, you know, how to face trauma, how to overcome it, and you have every bit of that you can share, you can save somebody's life. And
Absolutely.
this is why we are here. And this is what we want to fight for. Because me and Pedro, sorry Pedro that I'm taking a word from you, but
No, no, no.
we
Go
we
on,
do
please.
we do wanna use this platform to speak up, as we say. Be loud. Say it. Don't be afraid. Don't be timid. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can take that right away from you. So
Nobody.
if you have anything you can share with us and potentially change at least one person's life or save one person's life, please do that.
So true.
That's really, it would
So
mean the
true.
world to us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, that's the reason why, due to other circumstances in our life, in our personal life, that we were away for quite some time. We missed you guys and we are back on board. We really want to be able to bring engaging and relatable topics of this nature, even the difficult ones, the one that you barely hear in every other podcast. We discuss it here raw, without mixing words and everything. Of course,
Yeah.
we should respect each other. That's why at times I try to be politically correct and everything, but the message has to be delivered. Yes, now we have to
Yes,
respect
and stop
everybody.
me, Tasha. Be careful. You know, people. No, I'm gonna tell them now. You don't know what is happening backstage. He's constantly
uh,
warning me. Be careful. Watch your words. Don't say this. Don't say that.
because
I'm
if this
I'm the
platform will not
feisty
allow us to
part of it.
speak,
I know, but
if
I'm
this
the
platform
feisty
will not
part of
allow
the
us to speak, they will
podcast.
not hear us. If they do
I
not allow
know.
us to speak, they will not hear us. However,
Hey,
guys,
boss,
the fact
boss.
remains that
I was not born to comply to rules. I'm sorry.
yes, I know. I know. That's why you are the liquid metal. You are not the liquid metal for nothing. I know. I know. However, guys, the fact remains that people do not start having trust issues out of nothing. It is the
Yeah.
experiences, negative experiences of this nature that make people turn out to be distrustful of other people. So nobody was born with trust issues. Things happen in their life and they begin to see things differently from what it used to be. So I want you all, by all means, to take it easy on every other people, and it is in situations like this that the golden rule, in my opinion, comes very handy. Treat other people the way you would like them to treat you as well. It is
Mhm.
very, very important. When you see someone in difficulty, finding it hard to trust other people, at times it is not because that they are paranoid or they don't like other people. It could even be a form of protection mechanism. They know that they don't want to hurt you. They don't want to hurt themselves either. They have seen a lot in their life and they are now retracting back into their shares. So it depends on all of us in one way or the other to be nice, kind, and correct when we are treating other people. So
Yes.
until next week, when we'll be coming back to discuss the other aspect of this topic, the issue of betrayal by those that we really hold in high regard, those that should have protected us, those that should have loved us. I really want you to go back home tonight that look, nobody was giving birth to with trust issues. Circumstances make them who they are today, and it is not their own fault. Of course, I know it is hard, maybe with professional help and with counseling, those things could be reversed and the people will feel better and they may end up being trustful of others as well. However, be nice, guys. Be kind to your neighbor, be kind to your friend, be kind to your fellow brother. And if anyone entrusts you with anything in their life, please protect it because, like we all know, trust is like a mirror. When it is broken, there is nothing you can do about it. A broken mirror texture, like they say, even if you have to glue it together, it never remains the same.
No, and it brings 7 years of bad luck, people, so don't break that glass.
So don't do it. Don't do it. And if you have broken trust, rebuild it rather than pick up offense for not being trust. That's good. This
Yeah.
is a good one. This is a good
Yes,
one.
Chi Chi.
So I would like us to call it a day at this junction. And until next week, I wish you all the best. Have a lovely weekend. From myself and Tiasha. Bye and ciao, like we say in
Peace
English. Ciao,
out.
ciao, ciao. Special thanks to Isi and everyone that watched us tonight. And
Yeah.
it's our
One
dream to
love,
always
people.
one love.